Okay, everyone. I think first of all, thank you for sharing. Again, I'm so excited. And I go back and forth. Some days I'm like, oh, April, what are you doing? But then I get super excited when somebody shares making biscuits for the first time, just little things. So we're going for it. And I think the most requested recipe was the red velvet cupcakes. I do it in cake. Cupcakes are just easier for people to eat, so I tend to take it places. And I also do little miniature cupcakes, so that's what we're going for. I've made hundreds and hundreds of cupcakes over the years. It's my grandmother's recipe, my mother, she makes it. I just have great memories of growing up with just delicious red velvet cake. So I'm about to show you how to make it, but I want to show you this. Did you see this sitting here? So, you know, it's about food and family. To me, they go together. Some of the greatest memories you ever have is when you're with your family eating something good. So all my life, I'm pretty orderly normally, but I had trouble in the recipe department. I just had a drawer in every home we've ever lived in, and I would just write down recipes or print a copy of a recipe, and they all went in a drawer. So several years ago, I think Skylar was probably in high school. I can't remember, she'll have to correct me. But she took my recipes for Mother's Day, and she organized them in this binder. It is one of my most cherished possessions. A note in her handwriting and put in the, so here we go. Starting, I take my sifter, I put it on a plate because it makes a mess. First of all, let me just tell you, I am not a proper baker. I am gonna do things that probably horrify some people, but you know what? It works, it tastes good, and at the end of the day, that's really all anybody wants is something good to eat. So I have white lily flour in my bucket. Now this is all-purpose flour, okay? This is not self-rising. This is all-purpose white lily. And let me just say, I've tried other flours, and I always go back to white lily. If I just grab whatever I can find, if the store's out of white lily, they taste different. Okay, so that's why I say white lily for me. Other people may find that they like something else a little bit different. I'm going in my sifter with 2½ cups, okay? I'm leveling it off. Then sometimes I'll heat a cup of things, but not with my flour, okay? So 2½ cups, and I'm leveling it off into my sifter. 1½ cups of sugar. Y'all are gonna enjoy me figuring out how to do things. I've still got my phone propped up on that box, but I found a phone stand, so I do have one coming. Now, I'm not gonna put my sugar in my sifter. I'm gonna go straight into my bowl with my sugar. 1½ cups. And y'all, if I'm not careful, I'm gonna get so distracted talking to you that I'm gonna measure something wrong. A teaspoon of baking soda. Now this is gonna go in my sifter, okay? Because it can get clumpy. So I am gonna put that in there. Some people may sift their sugar too. I don't go that far with it. And teaspoon of salt. I tend to just put it all in there together. And then my other ingredient that I want to make sure gets sifted good is my cocoa powder. Just unsweetened cocoa powder. Now this is one, look, this is a tablespoon of cocoa powder. Now see, I get a big old scoop. I don't level it off. See, I would call that a heaping tablespoon of cocoa powder. Now, go over my bowl and sift it all together. That cocoa powder will also get clumpy on you too. So I do think this is an important step. I don't always sift flour. I don't. I'm just gonna take a shortcut usually, and if I can, but this is one thing that I do think is necessary. And down, you can't see it really, but down in the bottom of here are lots of little lumps that would have been in there if I had not sifted it out. And then the reason I put a plate under there, this is gonna be the part where your proper bakers will be horrified. Because if you watch the Food Network, they put their dry ingredients together, then they put their wet and they alternate. Well, you know what? I do not do that. I've done that before. It takes a lot longer. And to me, the results are the same. So I'm going into one bowl with everything. Again, I'm gonna get some haters on the Facebook, but now I'm going in with a cup of buttermilk. If you don't use buttermilk, make sure you shake it a little bit because it settles and separates. So, cup of buttermilk, 1.5 cups of vegetable oil. Now I cannot go any further without explaining this a little more. Notice I have Wesson vegetable oil. My grandma, she didn't buy anything but Wesson oil. It's the only thing I buy. And sentimental reason, and she didn't call it vegetable oil, it was Wesson oil. Going in with a teaspoon of vanilla flavor. And then we're going in with 2 eggs. Now, I have learned from experience to crack your eggs in a bowl first, because let me tell you, there is nothing harder than fishing out eggshells from this colorful batter. So it's easier to get them if they're in another bowl. I'm missing 2 things, but I'm gonna give it a good mix to start with. You don't want to over mix. Got a little flour flying around. Another thing that goes into red velvet batter is white vinegar, a teaspoon. 1 whole bottle of red food coloring. Oh, you wouldn't know that I cannot get that open. There we go. So we're about to have red velvet batter. Christmas time is when my grandmother would always make her red velvet, and it's just fun memories, fun memories. And another thing that she does is, well, you know what? I don't honestly remember. My aunt would have to correct me. I don't remember if Grandma put roasted pecans on hers or not, but my mama does. So, wash my hands real quick and show you how I put them. I have my oven set on 350. It's already preheated, and I have my cupcake liners in here. And guess what? Trusty little ice cream scoop. It is perfect for filling your cupcake tins. So we're going in. I don't usually dump the whole scoop. It tends to overfill, but I'll get it partway full, and it's just perfect. Now this is not a thick batter. It has a lot of oil in it. Go into the oven, 350 degrees. Now for cupcakes, about 18 minutes, and they'll be perfect usually. Now if you do the little bitty mini cupcakes, about 10 minutes for those. The other thing I'll do is 3 round cake pans if I want to make a stack cake. You'll do those for about 22 minutes. Okay, I had to move over to this counter to make the next thing. Now, this is probably my favorite part. Different people use different icing on a red velvet cake, but to me, my favorite is a good cream cheese icing. So that is what we're about to make, and I need my heavy duty mixer for that. It's 2 8-ounce things of cream cheese going in, and a stick of unsalted butter. Now both of those have been brought to room temperature. A teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'll run over this teaspoon a little bit. Honestly, I didn't even look. The more the better. We're gonna mix it really good until it's smooth. Might help if it's plugged in. And as you mix, I'm gonna sling it off. I have to scrape the sides down. I love this little spatula for that. It's just a little rubber. That didn't get quite as soft as I wanted. I'm gonna mix it a little bit more. One thing I do, I find that it, sometimes the room temperature is a little different with the consistency. So if it's a little thick, I pour in some milk or heavy cream. That's what I got today. So we'll go in with heavy cream. That's another thing. It's one of my guilty pleasures in my coffee. Don't tell anybody. It's a lot of calories and a tablespoon of heavy cream. It is so good. So I'm going in. I know people like actual measurements. That was probably a tablespoon, maybe. Again, the thing with this, if you put in a little too much milk, you just can add a little more powdered sugar at the end. So I've got, this looks good. Yeah, that's perfect. Now, in goes our powdered sugar. That's it. 2 cream cheese, a stick of butter, some vanilla, a little milk or heavy cream if it's too thick, powdered sugar. Now my grandmother, she put 2 whole boxes of powdered sugar in her cream cheese icing. That's what's on her recipe that you'll see. And if you look at that, that's about, I think, 3.5 cups per box. That is 7 cups of powdered sugar. I do not put that much, and quite honestly, I'm not even sure how much I put, but I'm gonna try to count as I put my powdered sugar in so that at the end I can give you an idea of about what I find tastes good. Again, I just add and taste and look and add and taste and look. But for you that like to know for sure, if you haven't done this before, then I'll let you know. But here we go. So I turn my mixer on really low, and this is a 1/2 cup measurer. I find that if I put in just a 1/2 cup at a time, I don't make quite as big a mess. If you dump a lot of powdered sugar in there, I mean, you're gonna have a white cloud in your kitchen. So that was a 1/2 cup. We're letting that mix. I'm gonna keep going. And I adjust my mixer. So that was 1 cup in. I'm speeding up as it starts getting all mixed in, and I'm less likely to inhale powdered sugar. I will speed it up just because that helps it get smooth. 4 cups. We'll get something so I can taste that. A little more. Surely 5 cups is plenty. We're gonna call it plenty whether it is or not. I've never measured. I just put it in, and when it looks right and tastes right, I never realized there was so much sugar in there. I keep a big canister of powdered sugar in my cabinet, and I just go by the way it tastes. Delicious. So, 5 cups of powdered sugar. It's perfect. Then I'm going to show you what I do to get it on my cupcakes. It is so much easier to me than using an official piping bag with the icing. So I've got my cream cheese icing. I just use my spatula and scoop it right in my Ziploc. And then, uh-oh, it's on. Hey. Hello, hello.
What you doing?
Well, got some cream cheese icing and cupcakes. Hey, have a good day.
I did.
Look what I have over there for you.
Is this low calorie?
There's nothing low calorie about that. He loves the, I always save some of the red velvet batter for him. Good stuff.
This is like the devil.
Come on this side.
It's
okay.
red.
I want him to see you. Y'all, this is my husband, Joel. We may as well involve him in the video too. Hey, it's food and family, right? So this is real life. Look at him. Does your family eat the batter?
This is my supper.
It's your supper? Yeah, right.
I gotta go to a meeting.
Get back with me on if that is his supper. All of our icing in this gallon Ziploc. I get the air out, and I'm gonna cut a little hole right here on the corner, and this is gonna be my piping bag. And when I'm done, I can just trash it. Now, the reason he's asking is because my family knows he is scraping that bowl. My family knows that any leftover icing, it goes in this bag in the refrigerator, and they love it on strawberries, grapes. They'll squirt it out on that, or I have seen Joel squirt it out on an animal cracker. I videoed this whole little segment and had not even started my camera. Okay, I told you I was going to keep it real. I'm just telling you all of my learning stuff. So I already iced all of the cupcakes, but I want you to see what I did. I just ice part of it. I don't do fancy. I just take my icing and squeeze it out. little bite-sized cupcakes would be better. So I made a second batch, and I made these in the little bite-sized ones. Be easier to grab, and you can take a cupcake and go. And the way I do these is literally a dollop. I just squeeze out a dollop. It is so fast and easy to do these. It looks just like that. They're great. But I want to tell you, and I hate you missed it. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see. Do you see that big pile of dishes over there? I have video footage of Joel washing up those dishes before his meeting. So I hate you missed that, because we're talking about family, and we've been married 28 years. And one of the great things we've developed, now it has not always been this way. Do not think it for a second that it's been perfect, because there are days I don't like him very much and days he doesn't like me very much, but we're a team. We've worked through a lot of different stuff, and teamwork is the best approach. And he jumps in and helps with the dishes. I jump in and help. Now, he won't let me get on that lawnmower. Apparently, I don't do it to his satisfaction. So, but guys, if you aren't helping your ladies around the house, you're missing out on spoiling them, because I promise it's great. It's great. Ladies, you can thank me for that later. Okay, that's it for the Red Velvet Cupcakes. I hope you guys try it. If you have any questions, message me and hope I can answer them. See ya. Bye.